Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a fantastic day so far. I hope today's been treating you well. In today's video I am very excited because I just received, let me cover over my address, just received this parcel here from the Pastel Roses. My order is finally here. I paid for this with my own money and I picked up, of course, some of the new collection that they just launched, and I also picked up a few more of the multi-chrome single eyeshadow pans that I am just obsessed with. I simply love them. They are my favourite. I would go as far as to say that they are my favourite multi-chrome formula. I just think that they're beautiful, and I love that you can just get the single little patterns so you can get exactly the shades that you want. So like I said, this is still all completely sealed. I'm gonna get my little scissors and get into this one. Now, if you like cruelty-free makeup reviews and you like indie makeup, because I am just getting into the indie makeup world, I'm still fairly new to this whole world. If you would like to see more reviews like this one, be sure to subscribe down below. I will of course be doing so many more reviews of all of these products if I can get into the box. They always package things so incredibly well, but I should have thought about that before I started filming. There we go. So like I said, if you want to see more makeup reviews just like this one, then subscribe down below and give this video a thumbs up if you're liking it so far. I literally haven't done anything yet, but like it anyway. Let's get in. Oh, so you get a little thank you note, and then I'm not going to show you my address on that one. Oh, I don't think I've ever gotten a parcel before where everything's wrapped in Pastel Roses tissue paper. That's fancy. Okay, so we are finally in, and I can't pick it up because now it's all loose, but we have got the Crushed Diamonds collection, and I decided to go for the pink, which is 02. I was umming and ahhing about which one to get, and the purple one looked beautiful, but I decided to go for the pink because I feel like, how do I get into this? There we go. I feel like the shimmers in this one are light enough to work for my skin tone, where I feel like some of the others, the shimmers were quite dark, and I like quite a light, bright shimmer. So that's why I went for this one. These look incredible. I've also never tried a matte powder from the Pastel Roses, so we'll see how that goes. This packaging feels very luxurious. It's like a magnetic close. I really like that. I know that shouldn't matter, but it matters to me. Then I also got two of the little single eyeshadows from the 7 Wonders collection. I do believe that they had 7 of these. I mean, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Just making myself sound real silly now, but I got Celestial Glow, which looks like this. That's just going to look like nothing, but up close that has got so many different colours in it. Very excited to swatch. And I also got Oasis. Anyone else not bothered about getting Oasis tickets? Side note, they come out, as I'm filming this, they come out tomorrow. I'm just not bothered. Ooh, and that's like a bluey purple, but also with a bit of green. Again, very excited to swatch those. And again, the packaging feels very substantial with those. Like, I wouldn't worry about taking one of these little singles if I was going on any sort of holiday. I wouldn't worry about taking those because that packaging feels like it's going to keep the eyeshadow very safe. Whereas I wouldn't take one of my like magnetic palettes with these in because I just wouldn't trust myself. So I ended up getting 5 individual pressed shadows. So I will quickly just go through these. These aren't new, but they They drew me in. They were very, very pretty. So I got Solar. Ooh, that's going to be beautiful coming into autumn. And again, I will swatch. Where can I put these to keep them safe? I will swatch these. Then I got Mermaid. Did I need another purpley, bluey multi-chrome? No, I didn't need another one. I've got so many that I already love, but that one excited me, so I got that one as well. Then I got Dragonfly, which looks like it's sort of like a mint with a pink reflect. Like, look at how many different colours that is. Dragonfly. I like the look of you. I mean, I like the look of all of them. I literally chose them. Then I got, I can't see what this one is. Simulation. I think that this is a green. Yes, she is green. Look at that shift. So beautiful. Oh, that's like a teal and a green and a gold. Then I also got the last one, which I know I'm gonna love, is Sakura, which is like the brightest bubblegum pink. And I can't remember what this one shifted to. I think it was more of like a lilac-y shade rather than a blue. But let me go ahead and swatch everything. And then I will come back and I will probably just use the new collection today rather than the old. They're new to me. I'm very excited about them. Rather than like the little single pans, because I can do these another time. I want to use the new products today. So let me go off and swatch and then we will be back. Okay, so this is the swatches of everything. So this is the quad, these four here. Obviously the two mattes and then the two shimmers. They are beautifully, beautifully reflective, and they're almost like a foil. Like, they're really smooth. There's nothing chunky to them. There's no very obvious big bits of glitter. Like, the colour just like glides onto the skin. And then the next two are the single shadows, the little Seven Wonders ones. So we have got Celestial Glow, which is more of a white sort of a shade, and then Oasis, which definitely has more of like a purpley bluey shift to it. I can't really tell what Celestial Glow is meant to sort of shift to, but you can see when that catches the light, it is beautifully bright. And then these are the four single shadows that I got. So we've got Sakura, Dragonfly, Mermaid, Solar, and Simulation. And tell me that that Simulation shade at the bottom is not insane. Like, the way that it's teal, but also green and gold all at the same time. And I know, like, I literally just said that I like a bright shimmer shade, but you better believe that I'm going to be living in that all autumn long. Like, I love teal, but I also love like green and gold, and I just think that that basically all over the lid with a bit of bronzer through the crease. I'm so excited for autumn makeup. I am so there. Also, I just need a little moment of appreciation. I need a little round of applause. I washed my brushes. That is how much I love the Pastel Roses. I actually washed all of my eyeshadow brushes. Well, not all of them. I've still got a lot there that aren't clean, that are stained all sorts of blue. But I can just use clean brushes today, which is fantastic news. So, which one do I want to use? I've got so many options. I'm going to start with a fairly big fluffy brush, and I'm going to, like I say, I'm going to use the Crushed Diamonds, a little palette, and then I might just use this actually. I might save those other two for another time. So I'll just create a very pink look. Like I say, I've never tried, do they do single eyeshadows? I don't know the answer to this. Do they do single eyeshadows for the matte formula? Like I said, I don't know. I will look it up at some point. Will it be before this video goes live? I don't know. So I am just using my Made by Mitchell bronzer for the little mirror, but let's see how this goes. I have the Beauty Bay eye primer on, just all over the lid, and of course I've already got my brows on, but nothing else. So let's see, this is very pigmented and that's a beautiful colour. That's blending so softly. Like you can see where I first put that brush down, it's a little bit more intense, but that was very, very easy, which I love. Okay, so the way that this is blending out, and I know that it's only one shade, but this is such a beautiful formula. And now I'm thinking like, why have I not tried a matte formula from the Pastel Roses before? Like obviously they're duochromes. Like I've only ever tried these like little single pans, and I've only ever had duochromes and multichromes, and they're fantastic. Like absolutely 10 out of 10. Why have I never tried the mattes? Like look how nice that's like building up and also blending out. I love. So I'm going to take a much smaller brush because that matte shade is quite dark and honestly scares me a little bit. So just taking a little bit on the side of a much smaller brush, and I'm going to pack that on the outer corner of the eye. So I'm just going back over with that first fluffy brush with a little bit more of that lighter pink shade just to help blend out that top edge, but like it's blending. It is blending with no, basically no effort. So lovely. Like it's building up, the colour is intense, the colour pigment is intense, but also like I'm finding it quite easy to use because it is blending very, very well. I would definitely recommend, if you haven't already got quite small brushes, I would definitely recommend it for this formula, just because where you put it is where it's going to stay, and it is like, it is very pigmented, so you want to just sort of put it where you want it, rather than with some eyeshadows you can sort of buff them out and sort of feather it out. This is quite an intense colour payoff, so it is beneficial to have sort of smaller brushes. If you'd like a video talking about the brushes that I like smaller ones, let me know. I'm more than happy to do that. Oh, just chucking them absolutely everywhere. So for the shimmers, I think I'm just going to use my fingers because I find that like pressing motion and like the warmth from your fingers will definitely help sort of blend in shimmers and make them into that sort of boily finish. So I'm just making sure that that darkest matte is like blended nicely across the lid, which I'm very, very happy with. Then I'm going to take the more purpley tone and I'm going to, these are almost like a cream, like I can feel it sort of smooshing under my finger as I'm picking up that colour, and like it's just beautiful, so intense. And then if I make sure I'm properly in frame, because sometimes I'm not, taking that colour and pressing onto the lid, and I'm like going over, I'm not picking up more product, but I'm going over that same area, sort of going backwards and forwards a little bit, to properly melt the pigments, I suppose, properly melt all of that like reflective goodness. I've taken that a little bit far out, but we can fix that with a brush. That's such a pretty shade. So I'm just going to go back in with that smaller brush. Make sure all of this is nicely blended. Like I say, I might intensify that darker colour on the outer corner again, because I feel like where I put that shimmer over, that has lightened that up somewhat on the outer corner, which wasn't necessarily what I wanted, but also I do feel like pressing these shades in with your finger definitely helps them perform better. It's just, obviously it's a larger surface area than a little brush. It's one of the risks that you take. So before I add any more colour to the outer corner, I'm like completely covered in all of that bright dark pink now. Oh, it's everywhere. Before I go into that, I am just going to go into the lighter shimmer shade with a brush, because there's no way that with my nails at the minute I'm getting anywhere near. So we're just going to try our best to build this up with a brush. This probably isn't going to end incredibly well, but let's just try. I've got some on a little brush there, and I'm going to put that on the inner third-ish of the eye. I mean, it's not as smooth as if you used your finger, but also, like I said, my finger's just not getting anywhere near that. I need my nails to be shorter, specifically for makeup application purposes. Okay, so I did manage to just press a little bit of that brighter shade right onto the inner corner with my little finger, but I need short nails. These will work better with your finger rather than a brush, and that has gone like, I'm going to clean all of that up, but I do just want a little bit more of that darker pinky reddy sort of burgundy shade on the outer corner. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that on that same brush that I was using before and just try and build that up a little bit, sort of over the top of the shimmer. See, and that's laying down perfectly nicely and blending in really, really nicely as well. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. I think that I am completely happy with how that looks. Those shimmers, I mean, I feel like I can't take myself seriously while I've got so much fallout under my eyes, but those shimmers are so intense. I love how that has turned out. And the matte's beautiful. Right, I am going to go off and try and not get that bright green shimmer specifically all over my white top. Will that happen? I feel like I've already got it all over myself, but I'm going to go off, clean up under the eyes. I'm going to do the rest of my face, and then we can do something under the eyes together. Probably honestly just that dark burgundy shade, because that is beautiful. But rest of the face, and then I will be right back. Tell me that that is not the perfect blush to match that eyeshadow. It's the Catrice Cheek Lover Marbled Blush in Dahlia Blossom. I love. So let's finish up under the eyes, and like I say, I think I'm just going to use that same dark, I mean obviously I've only got 4 choices, but I think I'm just going to use that darker one basically all the way along the lower lash line, because firstly I like a smoky lower lash line, and I just think that that will look beautiful. So running that all the way along and like joining it up with that on the outer corner. I love that. And then I am just going to add a little bit more of that lightest shimmer. Just going to add a little bit more of that right onto that inner corner. I love how this has turned out. I love it. It's like starting to get a little bit autumnal, but I feel like with that bright blush, that's definitely like keeping it quite summery. I could have gone quite sort of deep and a little bit more berry with the blush, and that maybe would have made this feel a little bit more autumnal. But with that bright pop on the cheeks, I feel like that has made this still feel quite sort of fresh and summery, which I love. So I'm just going to put a little bit of mascara on the lower lashes. I was using the Essence Lash Like a Boss Instant Lift and Curl mascara. So just a little bit. I feel like since I've been using that lash serum, my lower lashes are insane. Like, they are so long now, which wasn't my intention. I was only intending to lengthen the top lashes, but there we go. I've got lower lashes for miles now as well. And then I'm done. I love this quad. And the real kicker is I'm not even the biggest fan of pink. But like I say, the other quads, the shimmers were throwing me off a little bit, but now, like, looking at the quality of this, I'm like, I could definitely be tempted, because I think that this has turned out beautifully. I'm thrilled. I am so thrilled with how this has turned out. I would love to hear what you think of these quads down below, these little palettes. I would love to know what you think of this look. I'm thrilled. Let me zoom you out. So like I say, I would love to hear if you have picked up this quad or the little single ones. Have you picked anything up from this new release from the Pastel Roses? I would love to hear what you think about it down below. Do you think I need the other palettes? So I'm definitely now like regretting not getting that purple one. And did I even mention this little quad? £11.99. £11.99 UK pennies. Like, you can't get something from Superdrug for that price, like a quad. You can't get from like a mainstream brand. And obviously the Pastel Roses is a UK indie brand, so it's like, the price is just insane. The price is insane, but the quality is even more insane. I am so thrilled with how this has turned out. Like I say, I would love to hear what you think down below. Have you picked anything up? Are you going to pick anything up? I would love to hear about it. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye.